This is practice homework 1-1, day 4. Okay, and we're going to do on this video are problems 1, 3, 5, and 6. So 4 out of your 6 problems we'll do here together on video. All right, first section says solve each equation and check your answer. Number 1 is 42j plus 18 minus 19j equals negative 28. Okay, the steps we talked about in class for solving are step 1, simplify each side of the equation. So remember, the equation has two sides, the left side of the equal sign and the right side of the equal sign. So there's nothing to simplify on the right. It's pretty much pretty basic. But on the left side, we can combine some like terms. We have 42j. Are there any more j's over here? Yes. There's the 42j, and there's also the 19j. It's not just 19j. Remember that your minus is actually like a negative sign. It's negative 19j. We can combine 42j and negative 19j. Okay? So the way I'd put that in, I could either put in 42 minus 19, or I could put 42 plus negative 19. The more straightforward approach would just be 42 minus 19. And that gives me 23. All right? Now I want to remember to put 23j. Notice I didn't put the letter in the calculator. The variable doesn't need to go in there when we're doing that step. I just put in the basic numbers to get the math. Okay, so this is done. This is done. We combined them and got 23j. What do we have left? Plus 18. So the left-hand side is now simplified. Can I go any further? I cannot, because these are not like terms. This has a j attached. This is just a constant. No letters attached. All right, on the right-hand side, I'm just going to bring down my negative 28. Okay, so I've pretty much finished step 1. I've simplified each side as much as possible. Step 2, collect the variable on one side. Well, I have a j on the left side. I don't have any j's on the right side. So step 2 is already done for us. Step 3, isolate the variable. What does that mean? It means I eventually want to get the j all by itself. Okay? So there's a few steps to that. Right now, j and 23 are together, and we're going to keep them together. You can think of the number that is your coefficient, the number in front. You can think of that number as the best friend. This j has a best friend that's attached until the very end. So we're not going to worry about moving the 23. A rule of thumb is you always move the number that's a little bit further away. The 18 is further away than the 23. So I move numbers by using opposite math. What is the opposite of a positive 18 or adding 18? It would be subtracting 18 on both sides. The positive 18 and negative 18 cancel out. And over here I have negative 28. Negative 28. Now, depending on how you want to put it in, I could put subtract 18 or I could put plus negative 18. That part's a little tricky. The more you do, the more you'll get used to it. Adding a negative 18 is the same thing as subtracting a positive 18. You might even pause the video and let that sink in. I'm just going to put in negative 28 minus 18. I'm subtracting the positive 18. All right? Like that. And I get negative 46. All right, so on the right-hand side, I have negative 46. On the left-hand side, all I have left is 23j. They are connected by multiplication, so the opposite math step would be to divide both sides by 23. That cancels out to 1, so I have 1j, which I can leave the 1 invisible. J's by itself. And j is equal to negative 46 divided by 23. I still have the negative 46 in the calculator. I just divide by 23. And what do I get? I get negative 2. So that's the first answer. Put a box around it. Let's move on to our first word problem. The directions for this section says write an equation to model each situation, then solve the equation. So we don't even have an equation yet. We have a word problem. 5 times the number decreased by 18, okay, minus 4 times the same number is 36, negative 36. What is the number? We need to find the vocabulary in this word problem that is actually talking about math, okay? And there are some vocabulary words that are talking about math. The word 5, the word times, a number, decreased, 18's a number already, minus 4, and then times again. And even same number, that we don't know what number they are. There's a number that we don't know, and they're using that number again. And then we have the word is. Okay? In math, the word is, first of all, almost always means equal to. Okay? So we have all this stuff on the left-hand side. Then we have our equal sign. And what is it equal to? Negative 36. Okay, so let's go through and see what we can put on the left-hand side. 5, well, we know that the 5 is just the number 5. What kind of math does the word times describe? That's the multiplication, right? I'm going to use a dot. We don't really use x's for multiplication in algebra because we use the variable x a lot. We don't want to get them mixed up. 5 times a number, a mystery number. I'm going to use the variable x. You can really choose any letter you want. But I'm going to use the variable x, and I'm going to try to write it a little cursive so I don't think it means multiply. 5 times a number, there's my variable. And then what am I doing with it? I'm decreasing it by 18. What does decrease mean? I'm taking it away. I'm taking away 18. Whatever this is, this 5 times the number, I'm going to make it smaller by 18. So just subtract 18. But then we have another word that means subtract. First I decrease it by 18, but then it says minus 4. So now there's another subtraction, subtracting 4. But it's not just 4, it's 4 times the same number. This all goes together. 4 times the same number. What was that number labeled as? We labeled that number as x. So minus 4 times the same number. That would be 4x. Minus 4x. Oh, we lost our line. There we go. So 5 times a number, 5x. That means 5 times x. Decreased by, or minus 18, minus 4 times a number. The same number. Equals negative 36. This is our equation. Here's the left-hand side. Here's the right-hand side. Now that we have the equation, now the easy part starts. We just do our math steps. Simplify each side of the equation. The right-hand side's pretty much done. The left-hand side has two like terms, 5x and negative 4x. Notice I circled the sign in front. 5x minus 4x would be 1x, or I could just write x and leave the 1 invisible. So these are combined. I have x as a result, and here's my minus 18. X minus 18 equals negative 36. Okay? All I have to do to get x by itself, we can skip step 2. The variable's already on one side. I need to isolate the variable. To do that, I have to get rid of this negative 18 or minus 18. The opposite of that would be plus 18 on both sides. That cancels. X is now by itself on the left. And what is negative 36 plus 18? Negative 36 plus 18 is going to be the answer. It's negative 18. So x is equal to negative 18. Okay, number 5. We have some parentheses here. Oh, the directions say solve each equation and check your answer. So we have 3 times the quantity of 4y minus 8 equals 12. As soon as we see parentheses, is there anything we can do inside those parentheses? No. There's nothing we can do. Okay, they're not like terms. But we do have a 3 multiplied by everything in the parentheses. So we apply the distributive property. 3 times 4y is 12y. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. And on the right-hand side, we just have 12. Okay? So, we distributed. We need to simplify each side as much as possible. There's no like terms. And this is only one term on the right-hand side. So there's nothing to simplify. Is the variable all on one side? Yes, it is. The y is on the left-hand side, and there's no y's on the right-hand side. Isolate the variable. The y needs to be by himself. Remember, the number with your variable, this 12 in front, this coefficient, we call the best friend. That's the last one we get rid of. Okay, so I want to get rid of the negative 24 or the minus 24 first. The opposite of minus 24 will be adding 24 to both sides. That cancels. 12 plus 24 is 36. So on the left I have 12y, on the right I have 36. We know these are together by multiplication. The opposite is divide. 36 divided by 12 is 3. You can do that in the calculator if you need to. Y is equal to 3. Okay, I know it's a long video, but we are doing a lot of the homework. So hang in there with me. Last one. Angela ate at the same restaurant 4 times. Each time she ordered a salad and left a $5 tip. She spent a total of $54. Write and solve an equation to find the cost of each salad. So I'm going to isolate. This is what they're telling us to do, but here above my line is all the clues to help me get the right equation. Okay, first I'm just going to brainstorm. She ate at the same restaurant for 4 times. So whatever she paid a total of 4 times. Because it says each time she ordered a salad. What we don't know, what they're asking us to find, is the cost of the salad. So I'm going to make x equal the cost of a salad. Okay? Whenever I'm dealing with the cost of a salad in my equation, I'm going to use the x for that place. All right? So each time she ordered a salad and left a $5 tip. Here's one way you can do it just by using number sense. She bought a salad. She paid that much money, however much it was. And she also added on a $5 tip. That was eating out 1 time. How many times did she eat out? She ate out 4 times. It says it right here. So x plus 5 once, x plus 5 again, x plus 5 a 3rd time, x plus 5 a 4th time. You could just add up all your stuff and get your answer, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 x's, 4x plus 20. And what does it equal? She spent a total of $54. So that's a pretty common sense way to get your equation. Okay? You didn't have to use that way, but that's a real visual way to do it. Okay, so 4x plus 20 is going to be 54. Okay, now we can solve for x. I'm going to rewrite it over here so I have some space. The opposite of adding 20, and I want to get rid of the 20 first because it's the one away from the variable, minus 20 on both sides. That gives me 34 on the right-hand side. 4x equals 34. To get rid of the 4, we divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 34 divided by 4, and if you put that in your calculator, you're going to get 8.5. But that's not really a good answer for this because we're talking about money. It's really $8.50. So you could say x is equal to $8.50.